So I'm not entirely sure when this showed up, but there's a new company supposedly trying to build a budget pickup truck. Now, you've obviously heard of the new Slate truck, the new upcoming Ford Ranchero EV slash Maverick EV, and there's a bunch of other startup companies doing electric vehicles. But this is a startup company trying to build a $21,500 gasoline pickup truck with four-wheel drive and a decent towing capacity and several different models. I'll go on and explain all that. But this company is called Reo, or Rio, R-E-O, all capital. They're based out of Dallas, Texas, and they're offering a product called the Reo Runabout. And they have three different versions. They have the T4X, which is their two-door, two-seat steel drop side bed pickup truck starting at $21,500, which seems really interesting. The T4C, which is their crew cab five-seater pickup truck, starting at $25,000, which is actually really appealing considering that the Ford Maverick is the only crew cab pickup truck starting under $30,000, and it starts at $28,000, and it's front-wheel drive with a hybrid system. And this is going to be four-wheel drive with an actual automatic or manual transmission. They're also offering an SUV called the S4C, which apparently has side-facing jump seats. Not quite sure what that means. And it's going to start at $28,500 now, supposedly. Now, this company hasn't actually unveiled these vehicles, which makes me a little bit skeptical, but they are planning on doing that at the end of 2026. So that'd be Q4 of 2026. And they plan on doing their first deliveries at the late end of 2028 and the beginning of 2029, which is a couple years away. But if they can make that happen and they can stick to these prices that they have here, I'll be impressed. I did place a $25 refundable deposit for the Reo Runabout platform. Not really sure which exact model I would go for, but there are three different ones, and when you place your reservation, you can actually say, hey, I'm undecided, I don't know which one I want. But I am roughly 5,200 in line, so we'll see what happens in a couple of years. But let's scroll down a little bit more on the website and talk about the specs. So it's gonna have a 1,200 pound payload apparently, 4,500 pound max tow, which is actually pretty good considering that the Ford Maverick is around 4,000 pounds and the Slate truck is only 2,000 pounds. It's gonna be 180 inches long, which is actually fairly short, so I'm assuming that's for the single cab short bed, or not really short bed, but their single cab two-door offering, I'm assuming, is going to be 180 inches long. They say it's going to be 74 inches wide, which is actually not that wide for a modern vehicle. 74 inches tall, so it's going to be a square. And they're saying it's going to have 25 miles a gallon average fuel economy, 4,200 pound curb weight, so this makes me think it's going to be a little bit bigger than the Maverick, but smaller than a mid-sized truck like a Ford Ranger, and a 25 gallon fuel tank, so at 25 miles a gallon, they're claiming over 600 miles of range per tank. And a little bit below this, they have this little chart that says how it stacks up, and you can see that the Reo Runabout is the cheapest starting price, and they compare it to the Ford Maverick and the Slate truck, and they say that the powertrain is a gasoline inline four, and they use the word proven. But that doesn't really make much sense to me because what engine are they even using here? They don't have the economies of scale to make an engine from the ground up. So are they using an existing four-cylinder from another company? Or are they designing their own engine from the ground up? And if they are designing their own engine from the ground up, A, how are they getting money for that? And B, how can they claim that it's proven? It hasn't existed yet. So I don't know. They also, again, quote their 600 mile per tank figure. They quote the refueling time because they're comparing it to the Slate truck, which honestly is not a very good point of comparison because the people who are interested in the Slate truck couldn't give two squats about refueling time because they just charge it at home. They claim that they have up to 6 seats, although they also mention that the Slate truck only has 2 seats and 5 seats cost extra, but you have to spend extra to get 5 seats on the Runabout, so that's a little bit misleading in my opinion. The towing capacity is impressive, 4,500 pounds. It says it's going to have mechanical four-wheel drive, and obviously the Maverick only has all-wheel drive, not actual four-wheel drive, and the Slate truck has rear-wheel drive. And it says the big ticket repair is going to be mechanical-affordable. Now that's not a repair. And then they also said on the Ford Maverick that the hybrid battery be the big ticket repair, which I guess is correct. But honestly, in my opinion, the engine would be the big ticket repair, if you're gonna ask me. And they also said on the Slate truck that the battery pack would be the big ticket repair, but EV batteries don't really fail that often, so Yeah, a little bit fishy stuff going on there. I'm not quite sure if I trust all their statistics. Like I said, at the end of this year, we'll actually know if they are going to follow through on their promises when they unveil the actual vehicle. But that being said, they're quoting a 500,000 mile powertrain lifespan, not necessarily warranty. And they are saying that they are not going to have dealerships. They're going to be directed to consumer, and they are very pro right to repair, which I can appreciate because not a lot of new companies are. Obviously, you can see right here, right to repair, no dealers, built in Texas, which is actually pretty nice. I live in Texas and it's hot as hell. Down here, they also say that they're going to do direct parts to consumers, which is actually pretty interesting. And they are going to have an owner's club for the people who have reserved one. Me. They are doing $25 refundable deposits, so I have placed one on the vehicle. And if you change your mind, you can get all your money back if you don't want to pursue this. But I think it's honestly nice to hold your place in line just in case you're looking for something. And if you don't want it when it comes out, you can just get your $25 back. No harm, no foul. And I think it's a really cool idea. Down below, I want you guys to comment on 3 different things. 1, do you think this will happen at all? And do you think it'll be for the price that they actually are claiming? I'm going to guess no. Secondly, where do you think they're getting their powertrain from? Because if it's a gas inline 4 and they're claiming it's proven, where the heck are they getting this powertrain from? Is it like a Toyota 4-cylinder engine, or is it a random Chinese engine that they're getting from overseas? I don't know. And there's not really a market for automotive grade 4-cylinder engines like there is for like smaller lawn and garden tractor engines that you can get from like Harbor Freight and stuff like that for like $1,000 for a V-twin Predator. You can't do that on a car because you have to have a decent amount of power. This could be a 90 horsepower Geo Metro engine for all I know. It could be a miserable 4-cylinder engine. We don't know that. You just gotta assume, hey, it's got a 4-cylinder engine that's proven, apparently. I don't know. And then third, I want you guys to comment on whether or not you would actually buy one at the price that they're claiming and for the specs that they're offering. Now, on that third note, I would actually buy one of these, even though I'm fairly pro EV in most scenarios, but I can appreciate a super bare bones truck like this. And I think it would actually sell a lot better than the Slate truck just because more people are looking for A, a crew cab, B, a gasoline option, C, something with 4-wheel drive, and D, something that can actually tow a decent amount of weight. So obviously the Slate truck is really cool. I do have a deposit on one of those too, but I don't think it's going to be the same sort of market that this Rayo runabout is going to target. So obviously in the description, I will link their website down there if you guys want to go reserve one of these vehicles. But I honestly think it is quite an interesting proposition. And for the specs that they're targeting, it seems like a pretty unbeatable value. The question is, are they going to actually get this to scale? And is the company actually going to survive? Because this is a very, very early position in their company. Like they have just started. I think they announced their website back in May or maybe early this month, June. So it's only been up for about a month. So my reservation when I did place a reservation was around 5,200th in line. So there are about 5,000 reservations already out there. So if you want to get one of these, reserve it soon. Obviously I'll link the website down in the description. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this fairly short video. I just wanted to highlight this new company trying to do something that I've been wanting to do personally if I started an automotive company, which I'm not going to, but if I did, this is exactly what I would want to do. Build basic vehicles that the public can actually afford, make them reliable, and make them easy to work on. So anyway, that'll be the end of this fairly short video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and see y'all in the next video.